Russia's Federal Security Service, or the FSB, has said it has uncovered an American espionage operation that tampered with software. Now, Moscow-based lab has gone on to allege that dozens of its employees' devices were in fact compromised in this operation. The FSB has also highlighted a close cooperation between Apple, the tech giant, and the United States National Security Agency, which they see is responsible for much of this, and communication intelligence security has been compromised. Interestingly, the FSB provided no evidence that Apple cooperated with the NSA. Now, in a statement, Apple has in fact denied the allegations, saying it has never worked with any government to insert a backdoor into any Apple product and never will. Meanwhile, the NSA has also declined to comment over this entire issue. Let's bring in our colleague Sanjay Suri, who in fact is now standing by. Sanjay, first help us understand, is this the first time that we're hearing such allegations of Apple working with the US government?
Well, this is not the first time we are hearing of these allegations, and clearly this sort of thing, certainly this kind of espionage is not the first time it has happened. This time it has surfaced. The question is whether Apple colluded or not. Apple clearly denies it. The National Security Agency of the US has not said very much. It perhaps will say nothing, and if it does, it will certainly be to deny it. But there is no denying that the NSA is there to carry out such operations, and these operations have been effective, if not exactly this operation through the iPhone, but certainly we've had very good intelligence coming to Western sources from outside Russia. Whether this was entirely through the Apple phones, we do not know, perhaps never will. But clearly this has been alleged to be one channel that has been used by the NSA of the US, and the allegation of the FSB is that an invisible message was sent and planted to top Russian officials, and that was planted without any user interaction, and that was then able to access the system and the information within the phone and transmit remotely. That is the allegation, and this clearly is something that the US has not openly accepted, nor has Apple.
Sanjay, so two things that I want to understand. When these allegations are made by the FSB, what are they saying? Who were the people who were specifically targeted as part of the spying or espionage? Secondly, any specific timeline that they're referring to?
First, no security agency, no intelligence is going to go publicly to say exactly who was targeted. The minute you name a person, then you could be describing their functions, and then you could be describing the kind of information that could have been accessed, and that itself is a provision of information that they would want to deny. Clearly, they are talking about officials concerned with security, and of course, we know that last year Apple pulled out of Russia, but clearly the Apple phones are still available in Russia, including new ones that can be accessed through some ordering service, and a very large number of them were available earlier. We do know that there was very strong intelligence with Western agencies about the intended invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. Again, it is possible that a good deal of that information was obtained through the hacking, or let's say surveillance of telephones, besides other satellite and other human sources for obtaining information. This is a murky area. We never will have definite answers to exactly who obtained what kind of information through what kind of source.
Sanjay, I also want to understand, what are experts making of the timing of when these allegations are being made? The war between Russia and Ukraine continues. The tussle has in fact reached Moscow with drone attacks that are being alleged from Russia as well. What are experts making of the timing of these allegations?
Well, one of the elements on the timing is rather interesting, and we have the company Kaspersky, which is a very leading company that specializes in antivirus and anti-hacking measures. This is a Russian company. Of course, it is now spread globally, and it says that it itself was hacked. So the company that is there to work against such practices, itself became a victim of such practices, it says, and that coincides with the announcement from the FSB. So, on timing there is this coincidence, and this is an interesting coincidence, if coincidence it is. Also, we know that we've had a good deal of intelligence information leaking out to Ukraine and to other Western agencies of late. We've had very successful Ukrainian attacks in Sevastopol, on the fuel depot, on railway lines within, and very recently around Belgorod. Clearly, there was access to sensitive intelligence information from within Russia, and that information led to these attacks. They found chinks in the armor. So, all of this is happening together, the allegations of espionage and the penetration of intelligence.